sort of things, in that have we done to take a CRM and make it unique, make it, different? There's certain things we've done with some real estate companies. I don't know if you want to talk about that, or some of the other ones with, some of the financial services or transportation companies that we've worked with.
Sure. Well, I mean, first of all, coming back to the thing that I started this this session off, customer experience isn't necessarily different from customer relationship management. It's customer relationship management is a part of that. Customer experience is about actually acknowledging a reality that's always been the case. If you think about it as a marketing automation system, or a customer service system, or a sales management system, or customer relationship management, you're creating silos that in fact don't exist. You're looking at it from an internal point of view. If you look at it, you step outside your own organization and look at it from a customer standpoint, it's one customer experience. And so CX, the step towards CX is all about taking a step towards thinking about the customer experience from beginning to end, from the customer perspective, and not thinking about it from the silos, the artificial silos really, that we create within our organization.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. Like, we've all been on phone calls with a support person, and you have to go through levels of support. Now, as a customer, we've just been trained that in order to, or levels of customer satisfaction, or whatever that stuff you ask for the manager, whatever, things like that, because you really ultimately want to have your solution fixed in the best possible way. But the fact that we know the intricate parts of their call center to say, okay, now this, there's 3 levels within this that I should call. Really, we just want to be able to have that experience fixed. And, whether we're talking to that person, that manager, or an AI system that's fixing the problem for you, we just want to have it fixed.
Yeah, exactly. And if you think about, as an individual consumer, when you're working with your cable or telecommunications provider, or anybody else from a customer service perspective, you don't want to have to learn about how their organization works in order to be able to know how to deal with them. You want to be able to focus on your challenges and get answers to those questions, and let the other organization figure the rest out. And the other thing is, when you get passed from one person to the other department, think about how that feels as an end consumer, versus when you're working with an organization that if they do have to pass you along to somebody else who's a specialist, think about what the experience is like when the next person has full context over your experience up until then, versus when you have to repeat your whole experience again. Think about the impact to efficiency of your experience. How valued do you feel if the next person you talk to has context? And so I think this move towards regarding this as a customer experience is really, really healthy. It's something that's always been the case, but customer experience as a platform is about an external customer-centric point of view versus an internal. And really, again, when we break things up into customer service, sales, and marketing, those are almost artificial barriers that are invisible and should remain invisible to our customers.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
So, but yeah, we've worked within different verticals to look at what this means. So when we work with property management companies, or a customer could be a resident, it could be a property manager, it could be a security company, depending on who we're working with. We've worked with manufacturers who are working with customers that are, might be other manufacturers that they're supplying wholesale items and raw goods to. So, whether there's also, of course, nonprofit associations that we've worked with who work with memberships and constituents. And I guess this is the other thing. If we just look at CRM as a system, then it's tempting to say, hey, any CRM will do the trick. But you have to think, when you think about a CRM as something that supports your business processes, and you have to first acknowledge that our business processes are not only unique to us, but they're unique at this point in time, because everybody's business processes change, they develop. just as the world we live in changes and develop, and the needs of our customers and our constituents change, we have to adapt our processes. And if we adapt our processes and we're practicing customer experience or customer relationship management in a process-aware, process-oriented way, then we have to always consider that we're going to have to adapt the way we use the system, because it should be glued to our business processes. And so when you pick a platform, you've got to make sure you pick a platform that either works out of the box exactly the way your business would work. I would caution that I don't personally believe that that actually exists, because it may work the way you want to work today, but you do not know how you're going to want to work tomorrow or how your business needs to adapt. And so at this point, the CRM systems are too mature. There's no excuse to not choose a system that is flexible enough to work with the way, not just that you work today, but that can be easily adapted to the way you may work tomorrow, without having to get a whole development crew necessarily involved. So the systems should be flexible and be able to be process oriented, and to be able to change and adapt to the processes as we adapt our businesses.